Do you feel at some point it becomes kind of,
welcome.
because I've been through this, and I'm not trying to project my shit on you, but do you feel at some point it almost becomes like strangely personal?
Yeah. Oh, it was very personal.
And by the way, I'm asking you in this context, and I hope you understand the gist of the way I'm asking. When you feel like it's personal, I oftentimes find myself wondering, what's the crime?
Right.
So, like, what crime have you committed?
Being a child of Hollywood. I mean, that's the crime. The crime is there's what I've come to realize. I don't know if you got to see my film when I put it out, My Truth.
I've not seen it.
Yeah, unfortunately, it's hard to find since we don't allow it to be out there anymore because it was stolen, it was pirated, and it was given out.
I did read about that.
And all of this stuff. I mean, it was one of the most heinous, horrendous, horrible receptions of a cry for help that I've ever seen in my life, and Hollywood should be ashamed of it. But
so that's your crime.
Well, my crime was that I was a kid who was molested, who was given drugs, and so what do they do to those kids? They make sure that they don't have the power of a voice when they get older. So that basically you're, the unsung hero, you're everybody's favorite, you're the future of Hollywood, you're the golden child, and then you turn 18 and it's like, oh, remember when he had a career? And you're like, wait, what? 6 months ago, I was the golden child. What happened? Oh, but he got arrested for drugs. His career's over. What? What do you mean? I'm 18 years old. I'm just getting started. Yeah. Yes, I did have a drug problem because you people gave me drugs.
Yeah.
Tend to get addicted when you're given drugs as a kid, right?
Yeah.
And especially if you've got years and years of abuse that you're trying to squelch the pain from, it's kind of obvious that there's going to be a problem. And they know this. This isn't the first time this has happened. It's a systemic issue.
I say this in sort of brotherhood, not to glom onto your story, but like, if we're playing the game on what's your crime, my crime was telling the truth about my generation.
Right. And my crime was the same, I guess.
They hated that I told the truth, that this generation that was presented as integral and everybody was too cool for school. I kept saying, no, this is totally full. These people are performers just like anybody else, any other generation. You can put a stripy, cool grunge shirt on it, but we're all ambitious and everybody wants to win. And Kurt Cobain was as ambitious as everybody else. So you can assign these, like, let's call it comic book personalities to people who are really good, skilled people who are good at convincing you of certain things about themselves, but it wasn't true.
Right. And in that.
And you knew that, you knew the Hollywood version.
Of course, but not only the Hollywood version, the music version too, because not only that, you have to realize I'm coming from the 80s where Michael Jackson tells me my song, What's Up With the Youth, is going to be a #1 hit. I played it for him in the car. He said, this song is incredible, Corey. This is a #1 song. If I walk this into Tommy Mottola right now at CBS Records, I can get you a #1 song. And I said, thank you anyway.
How old were you at that?
18.
Okay. That's pretty Eddie.
Yeah. And I was like, thank you, but no. Because #1, I'm your friend. And I don't want you to think I'm just another guy trying to get some shit out of you.
Which would have been everybody in the world at that point.
Exactly. And #2, if I do it that way, then you're the Michael Jackson protege. I'll be a one-hit wonder. Everybody will compare me to you for the rest of my life. And then what? Where do you go from there as an artist? You're done.
Yeah.
So I thought, if I'm going to do this, I've got to do it myself. It's got to be legitimate, and I've got to earn my stripes. And if that means playing shitholes for the next 20 years, then so be it. I'll play the shitholes for the next 20 years.